Dear Call of Duty, I'm worried about you and your future. You used to be the indisputable best shooter game in the industry. Now, many have moved on.
So what I gotta do? What we gotta do is uninstall the game.
You used to be the best place to go online with your friends, have a good time, and laugh.
Flush. Flush. See? Is that like a wild dog? Oh my god.
You used to have one of the best competitive gaming scenes.
The curse has been broken. The dynasty has been cemented. They are the greatest roster in Call of Duty history. Optic Gaming are officially the Call of Duty World League champions.
You used to have the best maps, guns, kill streaks, and most importantly, fan base. But alas, it is 2024 and much has changed since your golden days.
Tactical move ready for launch.
Tactical now! Incoming!
I'm concerned by you because all I see now is greed, a lack of passion, and a disconnect from your players. This translates to those who look up to you, those who rely on you for jobs, those who use you as a disconnect from their problems, those who love you. I see many years ahead for you still, but I do not want them to be on life support. I want you to flourish, be engaging, and embrace who you really are. Call of Duty, I'm scared by other games coming out. Helldivers 2 should scare you, as it does me. It's a great game that encourages teamwork and dedication and rewards its players with a fun, immersive experience packed with fun and exciting content and customization. Helldivers 2 comes from a much smaller studio than you, released at only $40, and engages the community much more than you. I cannot say you have done the same since Black Ops 3, almost 9 years ago. We have patience for you to make a better game, but no one is that patient. Helldivers 2 will probably come and go, as smaller titles like this do. But it could be here for the long run, and should be an example of how you should dedicate yourself to the community, to the people and fans who support you year in and year out. I want to talk to you about your management. I want to know why and how the passion faded. Over the past years, it's become apparent to many players that there seems to be a lack of passion towards Call of Duty and other games from your upper management. While I understand the importance of profitability in the industry, it's disheartening to witness decisions that prioritize financial gains over the quality and creativity that fans have come to expect. For example, I want to talk about the current release, Modern Warfare 3. This game was supposed to be DLC or expansion to the previous game, Modern Warfare 2. But once you saw the record-breaking sales for Modern Warfare 2, the greed took over, and you decided to pump out a full release for 2023. The concerns I and many others share stem from the perception that this release was rushed and comprised mostly of reused content. The base game is an iteration of Modern Warfare 2 with minor adjustments to movement, and the maps released at launch were directly from the original Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. Even the user interface is a repurposed version from Modern Warfare 2 last year, with a color change being the only difference. Despite the gameplay being commendable, the community can't help but feel frustrated by what seems to be a lack of effort and innovation. While I acknowledge the improvements to the gameplay, it is disheartening to witness what many perceive as a lazy and money-driven approach to a full-price Call of Duty title. The reuse of content, rushed development, and the absence of significant innovation have left a portion of the community feeling unsatisfied. What happened to the days when you'd pump out great maps every year? From Raid, to Firing Range, to Terminal, and many more. Maps used to be unique to each game, with maybe one or two being remastered. Now we get a massive amount of reused maps from old games. Yes, I love them from a nostalgia point of view, but we have already played them for a whole Call of Duty game. As much as I love the old maps, we have to move on from the past and move towards the future. Newer, exciting maps that play into the curiosity of your players to explore those new god spots or glitches on the map. We will spend all our time on the maps. We want to explore, see new things, and have fun new experiences with you, Call of Duty. I want to talk about Modern Warfare 3 a little bit more, and how it is showing who you are becoming, and hopefully how to find your way back. Modern Warfare 3 is no stranger to bugs, glitches, poor design choices, and the biggest of all, hackers. Now every video game will have its share of bugs and glitches. Nothing is perfect. However, they are just stacking up from a little problem to a forest fire. The game has had a few rounds of dev error problems for players where the game would randomly crash. Look at Major 1 in the CDL, for example. There was a point where a player was crashing out every few minutes, making hardpoint maps almost unplayable, and search and control games being reloaded almost every round.
He is always able to clutch up, but Lucy Fame has made his way back into the lobby. So we do have all 8 players now ready to get engaged back on Invasion. Just gotta hit that goal. On the backside of Dumpster, this is no respawn left, and I don't know if Liz is not moving for an apparent reason, but something is happening. I think if you were in Minnesota in this situation, you're definitely going to go out there and die. You don't want those things. And on, it's a beat down in the back line. Second tick locked, third on the way, and Rocker are sitting here in spawn saying, you guys going to have this round by the look of it. Hopefully there's no other issues as everyone from Rocker stopped and the moon.
Well, at least we're at the beginning of a round, so.
That's true. Better than it could be. May have a quick restart here. That's looking to be the case. I know. Blame Joe.
This is exemplifying who you are. Disconnected from your players. In and out, seemingly randomly from the community, causing this great divide between you and the community. We are lagging out of the game, and you are lagging out from us. Ranked play has had its own similar problems, essentially from launch, where players will load in late or entirely not load in, losing SR, time, and patience. How are players going to want to play competitive game mode if they're going against you, an opponent that can randomly disconnect them, take their SR, and ban them from playing for a few minutes at best or hours at worst? Another note is the only streak that can be competitively used is broken, and has been for over a week now. This bug came up right after a fix for the progression system was implemented to the game. Also, Subbase has been out of rotation for longer than it has been in because one hardpoint has a weird glitch spot. I do not know exactly what you are doing to fix this, but the community and myself have seen two things from these errors: laziness and incompetence. Even if you push out a fix today for these problems, the damage has been done. Players are losing hope in your skills of developing a playable game, let alone a good one. I understand games are much more complex than they were back in the 2000s and early 2010s, but you are supposed to be one of the leaders of the gaming industry. You have more resources than many gaming studios. I hope you start to use them wisely, take your time, and develop what you know best: Call of Duty. I hope you take Season 1 Reloaded from Modern Warfare 3 as a lesson to learn from. You changed many of the hardpoint locations and spawns for many of the maps. At first it seemed like a great concept and could make some of the hardpoint maps in the competitive rotation better, but quickly we found out they were worse. Take Invasion for example. While yes, you got rid of P5 in Palace, you gave us P4 in the middle of Courtyard, with both teams spawning back Palace just to spawn up, get shot in the back, and then shoot the other team in the back. This is just one of many examples of the changes that you made to these hardpoint maps that didn't really help. The spawns on this map are the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen at times, and Invasion is not alone.
Towards that tank street, B street, but not able to find him. And he's going to wrap all the way back. His shots he taken down back. Yes. You have Kenny back there, so maybe one more chance at this if you are optic. Nice shots there. And yeah, that's going to be it. So 2 dead here for Carolina. They get 1 player off the hill.
You get 24 seconds of that early time. You get a little bit more of a setup. It doesn't fall apart right as the hard point pops. So you at least enjoy some of that time. But what was the stat we saw, which isn't one I've really seen us use all that often, is sort of the points off of a break when there's 15 seconds for optic. You get a break here, it's going to try and
Skid Row and Subbase also have this problem at times.
At least give some comms on where they're trying to attack from.
But a reasonable bounce back here for Miami. Miko just waiting to see if he can catch just the top of Kismet's head. Lots of damage is tallied, but not enough for the elimination. Finally, a couple of trades come through, and more importantly, Metals has kind of snuck through. Does he find Sim up top? Yeah, very, very well done. But problem is, New York will still spawn up. Trade comes out, and outside of the fall of the opening setup, New York can get right back into the hard point.
Yeah, that's just tough right there because Metals, he was trying to make the play through top cat. He finds two, but since his teammates are still pushing towards the left side of that P2 and you had one player over towards comms, New York is still going to get those close spawns in towards the back. So it's a great individual play, but not enough to get the break.
And the other maps? Well, they are better, but there are still plenty of examples of weird spawns. Modern Warfare 3 is not the only game in the 2020s you pushed out with wacky spawns. It has been a problem for a while now. Spawns are probably one of the more complex things to design, I will say. But in your older games, we had pretty decent spawns. Why can't you look back at these games as examples for creating the current spawn systems, or use your experience on developing the older games for this one? I hope the layoffs you implemented have not entirely affected this. But I'm scared they might have. I again will tie this back to your greed. You once again are showing who you've become, a greedy, disconnected person. Cutting costs as much as possible to still make a game without enough personnel to provide proper game development and updates seems to be the track you are going down. Lack of care towards us is apparent, and as a member of the community that loves you, this hurts. And it hurts so much towards some of us that they left you. There is only so much time and effort we will put into you without getting any back before we all leave. There is only so much hurt we can take before we must go. You used to not be like this. You used to have care, have passion, have drive. I hope you find this again and reignite yourself from within before it's too late. Before everything you have built up crumbles to the ground, only to be left behind with ones and zeros of videos to your game. The final thing I want to talk to you about is hackers. The community has become plagued with them. Many of us will get killed by a very good player and think, that guy must be hacking. Watch a few kill cams and maybe send in a report to the game. This is a terrible and toxic mentality to have for the community. Not only does it cause a deep distrust between all of us, it causes a distrust in you. We can't trust you to make a competitive online game if hackers can be found in many of your lobbies. But what caused this mentality? I remember back in the day, playing and getting torched. I didn't think, this guy must be hacking. No, I thought, wow, this guy's good. I want to get better and beat him. And I'm not alone in this sentiment. So what has caused this great cultural shift? I will say, I first placed the blame on the hackers out there. They ruined the experience and are further pushing this narrative of distrust, only proving what many of us hope to be incorrect. However, you, Call of Duty, are by no means innocent in this problem. In 2019, you implemented crossplay to your game. This saw a massive rise in your PC player pool. Likewise, the amount of hackers exponentially increased as well. To combat this, you implemented Ricochet anti-cheat into your game during Vanguard in 2021. At first, it worked great. Hackers got banned, seemingly all lobbies were free from hackers, or if there were any, they were quickly dealt with.
Damn, bro, that shit is.
I just killed the shooter. He was trying to say that his gun was ass.
However, like many of your problems, over time it got worse. The golden era of anti-cheat in Call of Duty was short. Within a few months, hackers returned. Your anti-cheat seems to barely get updates, now allowing hackers to flood your lobbies.
It's not your job as a fan and a player to like understand and respect and rationalize their anti-cheat working. We just expect it to work, but man, it's probably like insanely difficult. Because while all these companies are moving slow and the changes to Call of Duty are moving slow, all these independent third-party cheating websites, they can move fast, bro. They don't have these layers of approval and all these people and hoops to jump through. They're just sitting here in fucking Russia or wherever the hell they're cooking these damn things up, and they're making these things as quick as they can. And every time Ricochet comes out with an update where they just spent the last 2 months trying to remove all these permissions and API access, and I'm probably not making any sense, but like they're fixing problems that they had 3 months ago where all the cheater companies are creating things to get past all the old shit they just did. Like the pace, they just can't keep up, I guarantee it.
The community again is frustrating, wanting answers and wanting solutions. As a longtime fan of Call of Duty, this is hard to watch. I've sat back and hoped, oh, this is just a bad game, it will get better. But after 4 or 5 years, it clearly is not getting better, it's getting worse. I want to think Microsoft will make it better, but I'm not so sure. Microsoft is a massive company, and you will bring in fractions of a penny for the company. So seeing a big shift in the resources and passion is unlikely. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you can come back to your glory days, where the game was fun, where I could get on with my friends, have fun, have a laugh, and play the game. I want Call of Duty back. I want change. Sincerely, McBucks.